Pension rules are incorporated in the Indian Railway Establishment Code, Volume 2, and the Manual of the Railway Pension Rule 1968 edition. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Know more about the railway pension. Before moving ahead, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. The manual embodies pension rule and order were issued from time to time in self-contained and readily understandable form. The manual, however, has been updated after 1968, and during this time, large number of provision either has become obsolete or has been substantially modified by issue of numerous orders. In view of this, a need of the felt of complying some of more important instruction of the guidance of staff dealing with the pension work in the form of master circulars. Pension scheme was introduced on the railway on 16 November 1957, effective from 1st April 1957. Wide railway boards. All railway employees who entered service on or after 16 November 1957 are governed by the said pension scheme. The new pension scheme was practically adopted on the provision of the Railway Pension Rule 1950, promulgated as the Liberalization Pension Rule 1950 by the Railway Board, as amended and clarified from time to time. At the time of introduction of pension scheme on the railway, pension option was also allowed to those non-pensionable railway servants who were in service on 1st April 1957 or had joined railway service between 1st April 1957 and 16 November 1957 in preference to the Provident Fund scheme by which they were governed. This option was open until 30th September 1959. As a result of various improvement in the service condition or implementation of the pay commission recommendation, fresh options were again allowed to the staff to join the pension scheme, as these improved had bearing on the pensionary benefit. Retirement benefit under pension rule. This comprises mainly pension and retirement gratuity, family pension and death gratuity. Ordinary gratuity or pension become admissible to the railway servant temporarily or permanent with not less than 10-year qualifying service. On his quitting service on account of either abolition of post or medical invalidation or retirement on completion of 30-year qualifying service or superannuation, the minimum pension payable in all such cases rupees 337 per month. Retirement gratuity. It is payable to the railway servant on his retirement if he has completed 5-year qualifying service, the scale of 1/4 of emolument for each completed 6 monthly period of qualifying service, subject to maximum 16 half times emolument, provided that the amount of retirement gratuity payable shall in no case exceeding 1 lakh. Death gratuity. It is payable to the family of the railway servant in the event of his death in harness at less than 1 year service, 2 times of emolument, 1 year or more but less than 5 year, 6 times of emolument, 5 year or more but less than 20 year, 12 times of emolument, 20 years or more, half of emolument of each completed 6 monthly period of qualifying service, subject to a maximum of 33 times emolument, provided that the amount of death gratuity shall be no case exceeded rupees 1 lakh. Service gratuity. Those quitting with less than 10 years qualifying service, gratuity at a uniform rate of half month's emolument for every completed 6-month period of service. Pension for temporary employees. Temporary employees who retire on superannuation or on being declared permanent incapacitation for further railway service by the appropriate medical authority after having rendered not less than 10 years of service shall be eligible for grant of superannuation or valid pension, as the case may be retirement, gratuity, and family pension in accordance with the rules. Family pension. Family pension at the rate specifies from time to time. It admissible to the widow or widower, and where there is no widow, to the children of the decreased railway servant who dies while in service after completion of not less than 1 year service or with less than 1 year service, provided the decreased railway servant was medically examined at time of entering into the railway service. After retirement was in receipt of pension or compensate allowance. Pensionary benefits are determined based on two concepts: qualifying service. Pension and gratuity is calculated based on qualifying service, which means continuous temporary or officiating service under the government. Qualifying service of a railway servant commensurate from the date he takes charge of the post to which he is first appointed, either substantively or in officiating or temporary capacity. Emolument for pensionary benefit. In respect for the railway servant quitting service on or after 1st January 1986, emolument for pensionary benefit mean pay as defined of the Indian Railway Establishment Code 1987 edition, which the railway servant was receiving immediately before his retirement on or death of his death. Average emolument are determined with reference to emolument drawn by the railway servant during the last 10 months of his service. No pensionary benefit are admissible to the railway servant who is dismissive or is removed or resigned from the railway service. The authority competent to dismiss or removal of the railway servant may, if case is deserving of special consideration, as per the laid down norms, sanction of compensate allowance not exceeding 2/3 of pension, or gratuity, or both, which would have been admissible to him if he has retired on compensate pension. A railway servant compulsorily retired from service as a penalty may be granted by the authority competent to impose, such as penalty pension or gratuity, or both at the rate not less than 2/3 of and not more than full compensate pension or gratuity, or both admissible to him on the date of his compulsory retirement. Railway servants who are permanently absorbed in public sector undertakings (PSU) are eligible to grant or retirement benefit under the scheme which they are governed. Railway employees with at least 5 years service who were absorbed permanently by the public sector undertakings (PSUs) in public interest were allowed retirement benefit in respect of their previous pensionable, non-pensionable service rendered on the railways. Initial order to the effect were issued on 15 June 1961, stipulating the railway servant with the deputed government and subsequently permanently absorbed in such organization, equal to his own subscription in the provided fund together interest in has not contributory provident fund on the date of his permanent absorption. Railway servant governed by PF rules on absorption was allowed option for receiving the pro rata retirement benefit as were transferred to his new PF account in the public sector undertakings.